Hey guys, so this isn't evangelism related, but I just wanted to talk about something kind of funny. So this is my Bible. I've talked about it before. It's my waterproof, indestructible Bible, and I just love the pages when you flip it. I love the sound it makes, but why isn't that not making that sound right now? Well, you see this glistening stuff on here. It got wet. But let me talk about first what happened a couple weeks ago. So a couple weeks ago, we were in Madison, and we visited a church, Calvary Chapel, Madison. It was pretty awesome. But when we were leaving, I put my Bible on top of the van because I had a bunch of stuff in my arms and I was packing up. You know how sometimes you leave drinks and stuff on top of the van? Well, that's what happened with my Bible, okay? So, yeah, put it up there. Totally forgot that it was there. And, like, right nearby, there's a highway where it's, like, 55 miles an hour, I believe. And we started driving on it. I heard a thump. And then all of a sudden, I look back in the rear view mirror and I see my Bible flying around on the road, right? So it's a busy highway. There are cars going 60 miles an hour, whizzing past and running over my Bible. Like maybe at least 3 cars ran over my Bible at 60 miles an hour. You can kind of see some tears there. There's been some folds and stuff.
Pretty beat up.
It's kind of beat up. You can kind of see some of it right here. So, but it survived. And I had a bunch of papers in there. I had that paper, these papers, this thing. There's like a couple of things stuck together and that down there. Now, these are important papers. It's kind of unrelated to stuff on this channel, but a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them has to do with something I've been working on. Somebody that we know is kind of getting caught up into believing that baptism saves. Like you need to be baptized or else you're not saved, and some other issues with an author, a particular author that's talking about some stuff, more than just that, but that's kind of the big thing that we're talking about. So I made a lot of notes, and I was working on that, and I was going to make something of that. But anyway, so, yeah, I might have lost a few followers right there, subscribers just for talking about that, but no, baptism does not save. I'm not going to get into that right now. But anyway, so what happened tonight? Well, first I just want to say that, you know, even though it got ran over several times by 60-mile-per-hour cars, and I go running out there, I'm freaking out like, oh no, my Bible, my precious, and I'm flying out there. My kids were freaking out because, you know, 60-mile-per-hour cars are whizzing past me. So I wanted to save this first, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to gather my papers because my papers are flying all over the place, so I'm running out in the highway.
You missed some papers, too.
I may have missed papers. I'm not 100% sure on that, and if I did, I don't even remember which ones they were, but I got kind of the, you know, at least the more important ones. I mean, the other ones could have been important, too. I don't even remember what they were if I did. You know how you like to stuff papers in your Bibles. But anyway, so I highly recommend this Bible. I'll talk about what happened tonight, too, in just a second, but probably not near as damaging as what happened with the cars. You can kind of see some stuff there, some of the damage, but I love this Bible. I've talked about it before on this channel. You can find waterproof Bible. It, you know, looks like this, got a camouflage thing. I put some stickers on it, various things. Got the needgod.com thing down there, Pocket Testament lead sticker, and then somebody sent this to me. I didn't really know where to stick it, like usually put on a car, I guess, but I'm like, I'll just put on my Bible. I think that's pretty cool. Waterproof Bible. They say it even floats. So, hey, if you drop it in some water, I don't know, you're out on a raft or on a boat or something like that, you accidentally drop it, it's not going to sink to the ground, to the bottom. It'll float, supposedly. I never tried it, but then you can just, like, scoop it back up. But it's very durable. So, like, you take a page, you try to rip it, it will not rip. And what's really cool, too, is you can take these, I think they're, like, neon markers. And, oh, hey, paper that didn't get wet. I'll talk about why the wetness in just a moment. You take these special markers and you put it under a black light and it just pops. I made a couple of videos about that in the past. It's really hard now to find YouTube videos because you can't go to the earliest videos on a YouTube channel. You only have 2 options, popular and whatever the option is where it's just in the row from most recent. I think it's just called most recent. I really hate that because you have like for me, I have like well over 200 videos and nobody's going to check out those earlier videos anymore. Now especially because that option isn't there unless you go to videos and scroll all the way down. And sometimes I go through my old videos and I'm like, oh man, I wish people would watch these. Wink, wink. Go ahead and try to watch them if you can. Anyway, so it's really awesome. I mean, I thought about doing like a particular ministry, maybe teaching out in the dark at a park or something like that with a black light. And I had all kinds of different ideas, and just having the scripture pop like that, it's just super awesome. It looks really, really awesome. I like how the book of Romans if I can turn the pages, kind of getting stuck together because they're all wet. So the reason why, and I want to talk about this too if you ever get this and mark it up like you do. The reason why I have most of, at least the beginning part of Romans all marked up or highlighted is because you see memes going around on Facebook saying like reading the book of Romans and then it shows a picture of some text and like the entire thing is yellow and you have a person with a highlighter over here because the whole thing is, it's awesome. The whole Bible is awesome like that. But I just thought that was pretty awesome. And I'm like, oh, let me just do the whole thing with like that on Romans based off of that meme. But one day, or maybe several days, I left it in a really hot temperature car. The windows open, or not open, up. So it was baking inside there. And I think that's why it kind of, the marker kind of switched over to each of the sides. And I just remember peeling it off after that one day or a couple days or whatever it was. So it's really only this page, I think. But anyway, that's the only issue I had with that. But I love the sound it makes, so it's a stupid thing to say, but I love the sound when you flip it like that. But anyway, it's wet. Why is it wet? Because we went camping earlier this week, and we have a tent that's super easy to hook up. So we thought, well, when we get back, let's just hook it up in our backyard and spend a couple nights out there. So was it 2 nights ago, we spent a night out there. And just right outside our door in our backyard, we hooked up a extension cord, played some old school Nintendo 64 video games, some Mario Party 3, which is the best Mario Party, by the way. Me and the older two kids. So we slept out there that night. Last night we stayed in the house. Tonight we were going to sleep out there again. And I had my Bible in there, this Bible. Now let me get my rant off my chest because, I got a lot to say about this. Okay. I don't know how technology and predicting the weather has gotten so bad, and I don't know if I'm the only one that's realized this. I'll keep it short, but like seriously, in the last 10 or so years, I would check the hour by hour forecast, and it is so bad. Like it'll say like 0%, and I'm a mailman, so this is why I check this all the time. It'll say like no chance of rain whatsoever, just an hour away. Right? You think, okay, well, we might not be able to predict a couple days out as good, but an hour away, come on. And I can't tell you guys how many times it has been hilariously wrong. Like, seriously, so wrong. Like, there'll be times when it says, like, almost near 100% chance of rain. You look up, there's not a cloud in sight or things like that. So it's just crazy. Really, really crazy. But anyway, so I was thinking there's not going to be any chance of rain tonight because I looked yesterday. Yeah, it wasn't, a few hours out, but yesterday I looked, no rain for the day or the night. I'll keep the tent up. And we don't have a fly for the tent that we have. It was given to us by somebody last year when we went camping. And I do have a video last year, Campsite Evangelism number 2. So check that out from last year. And I talked about it, how we don't have a fly, the original one for the tent, but we used my mom's fly from her tent. And it kind of worked, but that one night that we went camping last year, it was raining that night. So I was up the entire night, and everybody slept through it except for me. My wife got more sleep than I did. I stayed up pretty much the entire night until like 6 in the morning. It was raining, and I was just trying to keep everybody dry because it was still coming inside the tent, even with the fly. It wasn't, the appropriate one for that tent, but we made it work somewhat. Anyway, so we just decided not to mess with that fly when we went camping last weekend or this previous weekend. Today's Friday, so that was Sunday night and Monday night. But I was up all night that first night. Another adventurous story because of some raccoons. We had some issues with that. That was quite the story. Maybe I'll share that in Campsite Evangelism number 3. Started to make that video, filming it, but then I ran out of memory on my phone, so I had to go back over there and film some more stuff. Anyway, so long story short, anyway, we wanted to sleep out there this, past couple days and tonight. And I decided I'm not going to waste time trying to put my mom's fly up there for a different tent. It's not going to rain anyway. I don't have to worry about that. So didn't do that. We went to Door County today. Had, some kind of fun there, I guess. We had fun today? Yeah, spent a lot of money, but other than that, it was a good day. And come back and it's starting to drizzle. I'm like, what in the world's going on? It said no rain. Okay, it's just drizzling, no big deal. I looked at my phone. Forecast set. 3 in the morning is when it would start raining. Saturday morning, today's Friday. and my wife's phone says something completely different in the forecast for Two Rivers. So it's messy. It's just, weather forecast is so bad today. I remember as a kid, I used to literally watch the Weather Channel. I would watch it in the late 90s because I was into fishing with my dad, and I always wanted to know like what the winds were. West wind would be the best thing to keep the water in the lake cooler, and that would be good for the fish to come closer to the shore, like salmon and trout and stuff. So I watched that obsessively, and the weather predictions in the 90s were so good. Sorry, I'm making this into one big rant about weather, but anyway, it was a lot better back then. How come technology has gotten so bad? I don't know. So anyway, yeah, let's get, no one wants to hear about that stuff unless you want to rant with me down below in the comments. So I come home and everything inside is soaked. Our TV is soaked. Our Nintendo 64 is wet. We only had 2 games in there, Mario Party 1 and 3. So that'll probably be okay. But our mattress was wet, our blow-up mattress and some blankets. We didn't have everything in there because we did come in last night. But my Bible was completely soaked, and that's why it's like this. And my important papers I risked my life to save on the highway just a couple weeks ago got all wet. Now tonight we were actually going to go to the beach in Two Rivers, and they had Jurassic World 3 playing there. I wanted to do an outreach beforehand or during or after. If during, it was going to be just using my iPhone and sending out some airdrop digital gospel tracks. I just made a video about that recently. We were there in 2019. I tried making a video and I still have that footage somewhere, but it was so dark you can barely even see anything. So I was going to share it to this channel, but I never did. I still have it out there somewhere in one of my phones or in the computer or something. But anyway, so there's like thousands of people there. It's really a crazy, kind of a cool event. I get to watch a movie on the beach in the water, especially with Jaws. You can watch Jaws while on a floaty in the water in the dark. There's no sharks in Lake Michigan, but it's pretty kind of a cool idea. Anyway, tonight they're going to play a movie. We were going to go there, but because of the rain, they canceled it. They also had the balloon glow tonight, and if you remember, I made the video about that last year. I talked about leaving gospel tracks just on the ground. People will take it. If you want to search for that video, just find the video where the thumbnail is a bunch of hot air balloons lit up. It's not, I didn't put out too many videos in the last year, so it shouldn't be too hard to find if you want to see that. That was tonight. We were going to go. That was our second idea, our second plan, but that's probably canceled right now. And my brother is in town, and his wife and daughter, we're going to go see them at that, but they had an emergency themselves, and it's just, it all fell apart, and besides, it's raining, and it might not even happen anymore. Anyway, I just wasted a lot of time. So, it got rained on, my Bible, my precious Bible, probably my favorite Bible. Every Bible has its pros and cons. There's certainly cons about this. I wish several things that it did have, but it's probably one of my more favorite ones, especially because it's indestructible. It's been through a lot now, and that's the point of this video. Ran over by several vehicles, 6 miles an hour, and it got rained on, 60 miles an hour, not 6 miles an hour, 60. It just went, poosh, you could hear it hitting the Bible. The Bible was open like this, and one car went, poosh, and you could hear it from like kind of far away, and just went like that, and got hit again and again. I wanted to cry seeing my Bible get smashed by a car at 60 miles an hour. It was such a dreadful thing to see, but it survived. It is kind of messed up a little bit. It's got a few rips in it, but I'd say that's pretty good. Can your Bible do that? Can your Bible survive the rain? Probably not. So, anyway, get a waterproof Bible. I highly recommend it. You do have to use... just be mindful what pen you use if you want to make notes. What I use is, generally a normal pen. But what I learned to do is so right here I have some references. What I would do is after I write something, I would press my thumb against it, and you can still see some of the ink right here because it will rub. After you write it, it will rub, so you just have to press down on it a few times. What you could also do, and I just figured this out last week in church, is just take a tissue paper and just kind of dab it just to get that, because it's not going to dry right away. Sometimes I'll blow at it a little bit, but you just got to get that top layer of still wet ink off of it, and then it should be fine. If it's wet, it might rub, so I'm going to be careful right now. But yeah, so there you go, guys. Just look it up online. It's you should be able to find it. They have a few different versions. I typically read from the New King James. I'm pretty sure they have the King James and an MLT. That's all I know of right now. I'm sure they might have some other versions, whatever suits you. But yeah, so check it out, you guys, and let me know if you guys end up getting one or not. I think I paid about $40 for this one, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, I gotta get back to blow drying my papers and get my Bible dry. So yeah, let me know if you get one.